While Berkshire Energy has been aggressive with its capital investments and already has some of the lowest electricity rates in the areas where it competes, it seems like the firm is winding down its annual spending at a time when more might actually be required. Are there any avenues aside from acquisitions for the company to put capital to work?
Well, I'm going to throw that over to Gene in just a second, but I will tell you that we have three owners of Berkshire Hathaway Energy. We are the 91% owner, and there are no three owners that are more interested in pouring money into sensible deals within the utility industry, or are better situated in terms of the people we have to maximize any opportunities. We have never had a penny of dividends in whatever it is, close to 20 years of owning Mid-American Energy, and other utility companies pay high dividends. They just don't have the capital appetite, essentially, that we do. So it's just a question of finding sensible projects, and I would say that there's no group that is as smart about it, as motivated about it as our group. And with that, I'll turn it over to Greg.
In short, we're about as good as you can get, and you should worry about something else.
Yeah. We really hope to spend a lot of money on energy.
Yeah, the couple critical areas we go forward is to look realistically in the 2022 timeframe, because as you've touched on, we've got a great portfolio as we finish out 2019, 2020, and it's really been focused on building the renewable energy projects in Iowa, expanding the grid. But equally, we do have those opportunities in our other utilities. The footprint in Iowa realistically is getting pretty full. As we had 100% renewables, Warren touched on it. Every time we get a new data center, that means we can build another 300 megawatts of renewables. We'll continue to do that. But when you look at Pacific Corp, where we serve 6 states in the Northwest, we've really just embarked on an expansion program there. The first part was to build significant transmission, so expand the grid, and then start to build renewables. But just to give you some perspective of the regulation that exists in place, we started that project in 2008, and we're realistically building the first third of it. But we do have the planning in place for the second phase and the third phase, and that's what you'll see come into place in 2021 and 23. And the reality is we'll continue to do that in NV Energy, with really, again, the focus being on both grid expansion, so we can move the resources, and then supplementing it with renewables. So it's exactly what you've touched on. And we haven't identified the specific projects yet, so we never put them in our capital forecast that we disclose to folks. But as they firm up and we know they will go forward, clearly you'll see some incremental capital, and that's capital we clearly earn on behalf of the Berkshire shareholders as we deploy it. Thank you.
We will put a lot of money into energy.
Yeah, we're really in marvelous shape in this department.
Incidentally, and Walter Scott, I mean, he gets excited looking at all these projects, and goes out and visit them. He knows way more about the business, and he's forgotten more about it than I'll ever know. But we've got a great partnership. We've got unlimited capital. We've got, we'll continue to have it, and there's needs for huge capital in the industry. So I think 10 years from now or 20 years from now, our record will be looked at, and there'll be nothing like it in the energy business.
Well, Greg, is there anybody ahead of where we are in Iowa in terms of energy?
Charlie, there's realistically no one ahead of us in the U.S., let alone Iowa. When you look at the amount of energy we produce relative to what our customers consume, we really do lead the nation in Iowa.
And our rate's about half that of our main competitor in Iowa to boot.
Exactly. We're right in that range.
If this isn't good enough for you, we can't help you.
Incidentally, I mean, we sell electricity 5 miles from here. Greg, is that correct?
Right across the river.
Yeah, right across the river, and the wind blows the same, and all that sort of thing. And the public power district here, in Nebraska, going back to George Norris, has always been a public power state. That there's no capitalism doesn't exist in the electric utility field in Nebraska. So they have had the advantage of selling tax-exempt bonds. We have to sell taxable bonds, which raises costs to some degree. They have a big surplus, which they don't have to pay any dividends on or anything else. And our rates are cheaper than theirs, basically. I mean, we're very proud of our utility operation.